in the Slalom Lager Rugby League Championship of the season. Warrington 1, Paul Ford. 2, Brian Carbett. At 3, Paul Cullen. 4, Ronnie Dwayne. 5, Mark Foster. At 6 is Paul Bishop. 7 is Andy Gregory. At 8, Kevin Tamati. 9, Tony Hodson. 10, Bob Jackson. 11, Gary Sanderson. 12, Mark Roberts. 13, Billy McGinty. Substitutes for Warrington are Kevin Meadows and Tommy Gittins. The Featherstone side is 1, Nigel Barker. 2, Brian Kellett. 3, Alan Banks. 4, David Heselwood. 5, Steve Quinn. 6, Graham Stedman. 7, Trevor Langton. At 8, Neil Clawson. 9, Robert Spur. At 10, Alan Barker. 11, Mark Campbell. At 12, Keith Bell. 13, Neil Kelly. Substitutes are John Hunter and Richard Marsh. So this the final game of the season. Warrington and Featherstone. Warrington will be playing from left to right on our screens, playing in the white with the primrose and blue band. Featherstone in the blue and white. Referee today is Mr. Tickle. His linesmen are Mr. Greenhouse and Mr. Carter. So it'll be Paul Bishop who will get the game underway. And Paul Bishop kicks deep. And it's finally taken by David Heselwood. So Featherstone deep inside their own 25. Robert Spurs takes it, acting half-back, goes himself on the play of the ball. Brought down low by Sanderson and Roberts. Langton. This time it goes back to Graham Stedman. Stedman with the kick. Mark Foster's underneath it and takes it safely. Warrington then in possession with Mark Foster, runs straight and makes ground inside the Featherstone half. Paul Cullen this time sends it on to Gregory. Gregory on to Ronnie Dwayne. Dwayne now goes across field. Just couldn't get the pass away to Tony Hodson. Warrington then in possession on the halfway line. Hodson goes himself on the play of the ball. Makes a few yards before he's finally brought down. Tamati onto Gregory. Onto Mark Roberts to slip pass. But he's brought down by Neil Kelly. Tamati once more to Gregory. Gregory. Cullen. Cullen knocks one man off. Finally brought down by Alan Banks. 6 tackle then for Warrington. On to Bishop. Bishop launches the high kick across field. It bounces awkwardly. Dwayne punches it across Brian Carbett. Brian Carbett can't take it. The ball goes loose and that will be a knock on and the scrum down. So the first scrum of the evening, just inside the first and 25. Trevor Langton will feed. Replacing Derek Fox, the usual scrum half, and Gregory takes that scrum, goes blindside. Warrington then on the attacking side of the first and 25. Billy McGinty will take it from the play of the ball, goes himself, makes a few yards before he's brought down by Keith Bell. Gregory takes this one, hands it on to Jackson. Jackson once again charges in, makes a few yards. Gregory again, this time it's Sanderson. Sanderson charges through, he's looking for the gap. And a great try there from Gary Sanderson. Gary Sanderson opens the scoring. A great burst of speed took him through, and the Featherstone couldn't stop him. And Warrington opened the scoring by a try, 4 points to 0. The try scorer, Gary Sanderson. So Gary Sanderson scores his second try in the Warrington colours. His first coming at York last Wednesday. So Paul Bishop. With an easy conversion attempt and slots it nicely through. And makes the score Warrington 6, Featherstone Rovers 0. This match all important to the Premiership playoffs. Warrington, if they win, and Widnes lose, will finish in 4th. But if Widnes win, they'll finish 5th. So, a good kick there from Graham Steadman. Paul Ford's underneath it, takes it safely. So, Paul Ford coming out of his own 25, brought down by Trevor Langton. Tony Hodson hands it on to Billy McGinty, but that's offside. The offender, David Heselwood. So Bishop with the penalty and puts it safely into touch over on that far side. Tony Hodson to take the tap. Bob Jackson comes on the burst once again, bringing 3 Featherstone players with him. Hodson once more hands it on to Bishop. Bishop, Tamati finds the gap, is away. His pass, but just Gary Sanderson just couldn't take the pass. Nice break though from Kevin Tamati. Featherstone though back in possession. Spur. And the kick coming in straight away. And that looks a good kick. And a good kick there. Sending play inside the Warrington half. Came from the Featherstone second row man, Mark Campbell. So Mr. Tickle, the referee, separates the scrums. They pat down, the scrum out to Warrington. Gregory cuts back inside, still going, but finally brought down by Graham Steadman. Takes the ball this time, Paul Cullen. Cullen gets away from one man, finally brought down again by Graham Steadman. Gregory hands it on to Tamati. Tamati makes good ground before he's brought down by Mark Campbell. Hodson once more, sends it blindside with McGinty. McGinty clears the 25. Hodson sends it back this time to Paul Bishop. Bishop with the kick into space. Nigel Barker, the Featherstone fullback, takes it. Faced by Jackson. And Jackson tackles him easily. Brian Kellett goes himself. So Robert Spur hands it on to Alan Barker. Barker though meets Tony Hodson and Gary Sanderson. Once again the kick coming in from Mark Campbell. And once again Mark Campbell, a good kick, sending play back inside the Warrington half. Nigel Barker. Paul Folk with the ball, but the referee says it was a knock-on. So Langton feeds, but Featherstone are penalised for the loose arm. And Warrington had the free kick. Once again, Paul Bishop takes it. And once again, safely puts it into touch over on that far side. Warrington back in possession. Hodson takes it, hands it on to Bob Jackson. Jackson takes play inside the Featherstone half. Hodson once more hands it on to Paul Bishop. Bishop, and he loses possession now to Robert Spur. And Featherstone now back in possession. Coming on the burst this time, Neil Clawson, but Neil Clawson's well tackled. Goes left this time, Langton, and he finds the gap. Nice, lovely break there from Trevor Langton. He's faced by Paul Ford. Paul Ford hangs on to him, but the pass is on to Alan Banks. And a nice break there from Trevor Langton onto Alan Banks first, and now pressing deep inside the 1-25. Graham Steadman will take this one. Barker, the ball goes loose. Gregory kicks it ahead, and Gregory's away. He's got Featherstone. He's got the breaks this up nicely. Just slits, gets up. Nicely played over Andy Gregory. Saw the opportunity to get the ball ahead. Sets Warrington up on the attack. Billy McGinty onto Bishop. Bishop to Tamati. Tamati gets away from one tackle, still going. Finally brought down though. Paul Cullen will take this one. Sends it left with Bishop. Bishop along pass taken by Roy Dwayne. Dwayne looking for the gap, but well tackled by Brian Kellett. Tony Hodgson once more onto Bishop. Bishop, Tamati finds the gap, but the pass goes loose. And first back in possession with Keith Bell. Spurt hands it on to Alan Barker. Barker though meets Mark Roberts. And Gary Sanderson. Spur goes himself, but once again nicely tackled by Gary Sanderson. Langton, Campbell. This time it's Keith Bell. This time it goes back to Graham Steadman. Steadman with the kick. Bounces awkwardly, but Brian Carbett takes it safely. Comes out to his own 25. Brought down low by Brian Kellett. This time it's Dwayne, Ryan Dwayne, but he's well tackled. Hodgson onto Tamati. Tamati makes a few yards before he's held in the tackle. Hodgson once more onto Bishop. Bishop to Gregory. Gregory. Mark Robertson, he's found the gap nicely. Mark Robertson's away, he's got Nigel Barker in front of him. A long pass out. Mark Foster kicks it ahead. He's a race for the line. Mark Foster still going. Paul Cullen's there as well. Cullen takes it nicely, but he's penalised for offside. And he's given Paul Cullen offside, so the try does not count, and Featherstone have the free kick. But once again, that attack started from the Andy Gregory pass onto Mark Roberts, who found the gap. And Roberts' pass was kicked on by Mark Foster. And Paul Cullen was adjudged to be offside as he went over. So Featherstone back in possession on their own 25. Trevor Langton takes it onto Campbell. A long pass out, nicely taken by Alan Barker. Steadman onto Campbell. And offside against Warrington. The offender Paul Bishop. So Featherstone have a free kick. Graham Steadman takes it. Puts that one nicely into touch. Just over 10 minutes gone in this first half. Warrington 6, Featherstone Rovers 0. Spur takes it, hands it on to Alan Barker. Barker though brought down by Tony Hodgson. Spur once again will take it, hands it on to Langton. Langton to Campbell. Campbell throws the ball away, taken by Spur. Once again, Trevor Langton. Campbell. A long pass out, goes over the head of a few Featherstone players, finally taken by Alan Banks. Banks finally straightens up and caught nicely by Paul Cullen. Neil Kelly takes this one for Featherstone, hands it on to Steadman. Steadman lines the kick up, charged down by Mark Foster, and Featherstone are back in possession. Through Alan Barker. Banks hands it on to Kelly. Kelly brought down nicely though by Billy McGinty. Neil Spurt. Back in half back this time is Langton. Langton onto Campbell. Puts, he can't take it, bounces awkwardly. Campbell once more. Once again with the kick. Bounces awkwardly, Paul Ford's going for it. But once again it's Mark Campbell. Second row man for Featherstone with the kick, which sends play back inside the Warrington 25 for a scrum down. So Andy Gregory prepares to put the ball in. Puts the ball in and it goes out on the Warrington side. But Gregory is met by Neil Kelly. Gary Sanderson from the play the ball goes himself. Warrington's try scorer. This time hands it on to Tamati. Tamati being pushed by Neil Clausen. Tony Hodgson this time. Sends it on to Gregory. Gregory looking for the gap. Gets the ball away to Hodgson. Hodgson's away. Jackson was up with him, but Hodgson couldn't get his pass away. This time it's Bishop. Bishop with the kick. but that is too far from Paul Bishop. His ball back inside the Warrington half for a scrum down. So Trevor Langton, the Featherstone Rovers scrum half, will put the ball in. Mr. Tickle having a word with both hookers as Langton put the balls in, comes out on the Featherstone side. Graham Steadman picks it up. Finally brought down low by Andy Gregory and Paul Ford. And Paul Ford looks injured after that tackle. From the play of the ball, nice break there from Heselwood. Tackled though by Ronnie Dwayne and Brian Carbett. Langton hands it onto Spur. Spur looks for the gap and finds it. And gets the ball away, knocked back by Jackson. Gregory goes back and picks it up nicely. Gregory, though, caught in possession. And the referee blows his whistle. And he's going to call over Mark Campbell. And he's penalised for punching the tackle. And Warrington have the free kick, and Paul Bishop with the kick for touch. And another good one. Setting in play just inside his own half with Tony Hodson. Takes it on, this time Bob Jackson. Jackson takes play inside the Featherstone Rovers half. Hodson goes himself on the play, the ball looks for the gap. Just couldn't get away from the Featherstone tacklers. Bob Jackson takes this one, hands it on to Tamati. Tamati, but he's held by both second row men, Bell and Campbell. Once again, it's Tony Hodson, goes left this time with Gregory. Gregory looks for the gap, finds it once again, just had his heels clipped though by Alan Barker. Hodson once again onto Sanderson, Sanderson to Tamati. Tamati though caught in possession but gets the ball away to Roy Dwayne. Dwayne now straightens up. He's beaten one man, still going off the line. A good tackle though. But Roy Dwayne just stopped short of the line. Nice tackle though by Banks. McGinty, Sanderson, dummies, straightens up, hands it on to Paul Ford. Ford with little chips to the corner, Mark Foster's going for it, it bounces awkwardly. Goes back and now Featherstone back in possession with Alan Banks. But the referee has given offside and the free kick goes to Warrington. Offside there against Alan Banks. So Warrington with a chance now. Paul Bishop will put this one into touch. Set Warrington up for a try scoring opportunity. Tony Hodson will take it. Tamati charges in, going for the corner. Brought down low by Neil Claus. Warrington though pressing now on the Featherstone Rovers line. Tony Hodson hands it on to Bishop. Bishop out to Gregory. Gregory stops, gets the ball away. Jackson will have to go back and pick this one up. And he's finally caught by Langton. And Spur. Warrington lose good 20 yards. Bishop. And McGinty couldn't take the pass. And a knock on. And a scrum down. That's the Rovers 25-yard line. So Trevor Langton puts the ball in, but the referee says he'll have to try again. Puts the ball in, this time it's a free kick against Warrington, and Featherstone have the free kick handed out in the scrum. So Graham Steadman, and a poor kick, but safely into touch. Featherstone still have possession. Spur will take it. Hands it on to Campbell. Campbell, Langton, Steadman. Steadman drops the ball and Warrington are back in possession. Brave play there from Gary Sanderson to dive on that ball. This time it's Gregory. Gregory has to pick his own pass up. This time it's Roy Dwayne. And Warrington again lose ground. And once again the referee, Mr. Tickle, will stop playing, give the free kick to Warrington against David Heselwood. So once again Paul Bishop puts the ball into touch and sets play up for Warrington inside the Featherstone 25. Can they make anything from this play? Gregory will take it. This time it's on to Matt Rose. Matt Rose is charging in. Just brought down low by Nigel Barker. Hodson hands it on to Gregory. Bishop back to Gregory. Gregory still looking for the pass. Dummies is going again. Gets the ball out to Dwayne. Dwayne dummies. Still going. Despite the tensions, Stedman finally loses the ball though to Trevor Langton. And Featherstone back in possession. Stedman this time. Good tackle though from Kevin Tamata on Alan Barker. This time it's Neil Clausen. And Neil Clausen being pushed back nicely. And the referee is going to call over, it looks like Kevin Tamata. And Kevin Tamata is penalised for a punch and high tackle. And Featherstone have a free kick. The ball goes into the main stand from Graham Stedman. And Spur will take it. Hands it on to Campbell. Campbell on to Bell. Bell. He's well tackled though by Gary Sanderson and Bob Jackson. Spur once again on to Campbell. Attempted break there from Neil Kelly. Spur once more. So Robert Spur acting halfback. Sends it on to Campbell. Campbell back to Graham Stedman. Stedman with the kick. Ryan Carbett takes it safely. Faced by Kelly, goes across, beats Bell. And drops the ball, and Graham Stedman, as he went to take it, knocked the ball on. And Warrington a little bit lucky there, it was Graham Stedman. Got onto that loose ball, but just knocked it on. And that is a scrum down. Andy Gregory puts the ball in again. Warrington in possession. Bishop switches it onto Dwayne. Dwayne onto Ford. Ford. Cullen. Cullen cuts back inside. He's got the gap now. Cuts back inside again. Finally brought down by Nigel Barker. Gary Sanderson from the play. The ball goes in out to Billy McGinty. McGinty gets away from one tackle. Still away. Gets away from another one. Onto Mark Foster. Takes it well. Just caught though by Alan Banks. Ford onto Hodson. Hodson to Gregory. Gregory. Onto Mark Roberts, he's found the gap again. Mark Roberts is away, he's got Bishop with him. And Bishop will go for a try. Paul Bishop scores Warrington's second try. Once again, Gregory's pass released Mark Roberts, and Mark Roberts had Paul Bishop up on his left-hand side. And Paul Bishop went over for Warrington's second try. So Paul Bishop to the left of the post to try and convert his own try. So Paul Bishop, try scorer. Now the goal scorer. Makes the score, Warrington 12, Featherstone Rovers 0. Just over halfway through the first half. And Warrington in a commanding position. So Featherstone to restart. Standoff, Graham Stedman. It looks a good kick. Paul Ford has to go over. Takes it. So Paul Ford coming out of his own 25. Sanderson hands it on to Tamata. Tamata, once again, makes good ground before he's finally brought down over on that far side. Plays it to himself. And Tamata and Keith Bell in the tackle. This time it's Jackson. Jackson. This time Tony Hodson acting halfback sends it on to Bishop. Bishop with the kick. Good kick from Bishop, bounces awkwardly. Steve Quinn bounces, Fally has to dive on it. Gets up and Fally stopped by Paul Cullen and McGinty. Warrington. Gary Sanderson. And Featherstone have the free kick. Graham Stedman once again. Puts the ball safely into touch. Spurt. Hands it on to Bell. Bell. Met though by McGinty and Foster. Spurt once more. This time it's Barker. The one. Bouncing up quickly. Dwayne takes it nicely. And Dwayne's away. Makes good ground once again. Tony Hodgson is acting half at this time. Sends it on to Gregory. Gregory to Tamati. Tamati back to Gregory. Gregory's got the gap again. And Gregory's away. He's got Barker up with it again. He tries to beat it. Still going. Finally brought down by Barker. Nice run there from Gregory. Takes play to the first and 25. Jackson this time has got to Bishop. Bishop on to Cullen. Pass. Ball goes loose. And McGinty's going for it. Dives over, but play will go back for the knock-on. So we'll scrum down inside the Featherstone 25. Trevor Langton to feed. And this time Featherstone ball, Langton hands it on to Barker. And Barker's brought down nicely by McGinty. Kelly. Kelly though stopped by Sanderson and Mark Roberts. Spurt. Clausen. This time it goes on to Langton. Langton to Campbell. Clausen. Clausen stopped short of his own 25 by Hodgson. And Tamati. This time it goes on to Stedman. Stedman lines himself up for the kick once again. But this time it's too long. And play will go back inside the first and 25 for a scrum down. So the ball goes in once again. Comes out on the one side. Gregory hands it on to Bishop. To Cullen. Back to Bishop. Bishop. On to Paul Ford. Ford looks for the gap. Brought down by Alan Banks. Paul Cullen to Gregory. Gregory to Sanderson. Billy McGinty going in there. For Warrington, the loose forward. Hodgson. This time it's Sanderson. Sanderson charges through once again. Taking play near to that Featherstone line. This time it goes on to Tamati. Tamati charges in. Takes 3 Featherstone players to hold him. Goes left this time, Gregory. Bishop, Gregory again onto Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts finds the gap. Just his ankle's tapped by Barker, who's going through 6th tackle. Gregory takes it. Bishop. Bishop with the kick for the corner. Follows it up himself. The ball goes loose and Featherstone have it. Trevor Langton. Kelly. Kelly though well. Spurt. And offside against Billy McGinty. Graham Stedman then quickly takes the kick and nicely puts the ball into touch. So Robert Spur to take the second part of the penalty. Campbell onto Bell. Bell, nicely tackled though by Sanderson. Lawton, Langton then, but he's fairly well tackled by Tamati and McGinty. Spurt, Campbell, a nice pass there. Clausen knocks off Hodgson. Clausen still going. Finally being tackled by Roy Dwayne. This time it's Barker. Nice pass on to Hazelwood. Hazelwood has already played against Warrington for Barrow this season. And the kick coming in from Campbell once again, and once again it's a telling kick. Once again it takes place at the Warrington 25 for the scrum down. Ten minutes remaining then in this first half. Warrington 12, Featherstone 0. Tries from Sanderson and Bishop. 2 goals from Paul Bishop. But to scrum down, midway inside the Warrington 25. Gregory feeds, ball comes out to Warrington, Paul Ford. Paul Ford though, easily tackled by Trevor Langton. Bishop onto Gregory. Gregory cuts back inside, looks for the gap again, and he's away. Once again, Gregory's away. Brought down though, finally by Graham Stedman. Another good break though from Gregory. Cullen this time hands it on to McGinty. McGinty's got space. Brought down by Alan Banks and Steve Quinn. Cullen once more. Gregory onto Sanderson. Gregory. Bishop. Bishop goes back right. Throws the ball back to Jackson. Jackson finally brought down by Spur and Mark Campbell. 6 tackled in for Warrington. Gregory onto Bishop. Bishop with the kick. Steve Quinn with it. Takes it. Faced by Tamatine Jackson. Goes across field. And Jackson tackles him safely. So from the play the ball, goes on to Clausen. So throwing it across the line, the ball goes loose. Finally picked up by Banks. Banks though, nicely tackled by Paul Cullen. Stedman, once again, lining the kick up. Beautifully stopped though by Mark Foster. Lovely stop Foster from the kick from Stedman. Gregory from the play the ball, hands it on to McGinty. McGinty straightens up. Brought down though by Stedman on the Featherstone 25. Foster this time on to Gregory. Gregory to Sanderson. Sanderson straightens up. Looks for the gap once again. Just couldn't get his pass out to Hudson. Brought down by Mark Campbell. Bishop on to Gregory. Gregory dummies but slips as he tries to change direction. Bishop once again from the play. The ball goes himself. And offside against Keith Belt. Gives the free kick to Warrington.
Latest score at Weldon Road. Widnes 12, Castleford 2.
So, Paul Bishop try and add 2 further points to the Warrington total. He slips as he takes it, but it goes over. And Warrington now lead 14-0. News coming through though, that back leading, so not that good news for Warrington. So first and over to restart with Graham Stedman. Warrington 14, Featherstone 0. McGinty takes it safely. He's got Matt Foster to his left, goes himself. And a good run there from McGinty, and his pass is nicely taken by Foster. Foster's faced by Barker, tries to go around him. And still going, nice run by Foster, cuts back inside, has it on to Gregory. Gregory knocks off one man, finally brought down though. Nice run there. Foster this time has on to Tamerton, Tamerton to Bishop, Bishop looks for the gap. Pass over to Sanderson, Sanderson cuts back inside, he's going for the line. Tries to get his pass away, nicely tackled though, but Warrington now pressing. Deep inside the first half, around the play the ball, Hudson hands it on to Jackson. Jackson charges for the line, still going. Stopped on the Featherstone line virtually. The play the ball goes on, Bishop, Tamerton onto Gregory, Gregory goes back left. Still going. Finally brought down though nicely by David Hazelwood. Bishop. Cullen back to Bishop. Bishop with the kick through, folds it up himself, going for it. It bounces nicely, he'll take it. But he just bounced awkwardly as he was going to catch it. But a lovely kick there from Paul Bishop, the bounce. Just as he was about to take it, bounced a little too high and he knocked the ball on. And the scrum down. What a nice little bit of opportunist play from Paul Bishop. And an important scrum there for both sides. Yards from the Featherstone line. Langton prepares to put the ball in for Featherstone. Puts the ball in, and that's a Featherstone ball. But the referee has penalised Warrington. And that gives and the chance to relieve some pressure. Steadman with the kick, once again safely puts it in. So second part of the penalty, Mark Campbell takes it, hands it on to Keith Bell. Bell though stopped by Hudson and Gregory. Spur on to play the ball. Alan Banks stopped again by Hudson and McGinty. Langton. Kelly. Though well tackled by Bob Jackson. Spur this time, hands it on to Campbell. Campbell once again with that kick. And once again, Mark Campbell. Good tactical kicking from the second row man for Featherstone. Sends play back deep inside the Warrington half. So 6 minutes left in this first half. Warrington leading 14-0. That scrum is taken by Featherstone scrum half Trevor Langton. Featherstone now a chance to get some points on the board just before half time. Steadman straightens up, nicely tackled though by Paul Bishop. This time it's Barker. Barker looks for the gap, finds it. His pass is taken by Kelly. Kelly a long pass back. This time it's Heatherwood. And Heatherwood looking to break tackles, finally brought down by Dwayne. Plays it to himself quickly, makes yards towards the Warrington try line. Spur once again, Campbell, a long pass out taken by Bell. Bell though is caught but gets the ball away, goes loose and Bob Jackson, it bounces awkwardly for him. And Featherstone are back in possession for the sixth tackle. So sixth tackle for Featherstone inside the 1-25. Steadman changed direction with the kick. And Paul Ford takes it safely. Nice take there from Paul Ford, under pressure from Steadman. So Paul Bishop, once again left-footed, drops the ball out. Safely taken by Nigel Barker. Barker takes play then back inside the 1-25. A slip pass on to Brian Kelly. Langton onto Bell. Bell's trying to get away from tackles and an injury there to Mark Roberts. Langton once again this time. Campbell, nice pass on there to Clawson. Clawson though well tackled by McGinty. Spur goes himself on the play the ball. A long pass taken by Bell. Dummies gets the pass away to Steadman. Steadman though nicely tackled by Ray Dwayne. But Featherstone now pressing at the end of this first half. Kelly to Campbell. Campbell with a chip through. Mark Foster safely kicks it away. Steady play there from Matt Foster, clears the danger, and Warrington will drop out from underneath their own sticks. So Paul Bishop, good kick, Barker takes it safely. Across field this time, gets the ball away to Kelly. Kelly onto Banks. Banks straightens up finally and brought down by Tamati just inside the 1-25. Spur on the play the ball to Campbell. Campbell, a long pass out, nicely taken by Steadman. Steadman onto Heatherwood. Heatherwood looking for the gap, but well tackled and loses the ball. And Brian Cabot takes it one-handed, and Cabot's away. He's got Barker coming across. Cabot going through, but nicely taken out by Nigel Barker. But a good run there taking place out of the first and 25. From the play the ball, Warrington press forward, and they've lost the ball through Ronnie Dwayne. So Featherstone back in possession inside their own 25. Banks clears his own 25. Once again the kick comes in from Campbell. And once again frustrates Warrington by sending them back for the scrum down. So Langton puts the ball in, and he'll have to do it all over again. Referee Mr. Tickle not satisfied with that scrum. And once again Mr. Tickle blows his whistle. Langton finally puts the ball in, and Warrington in possession. Gregory hands it on to Bishop. Dwayne back then to Paul Ford. Ford though brought down nicely. Trevor Langton. Dwayne hands it on to Gregory. Tamati took it well. Well taken there from Kevin Tamati. Gregory to Bishop. Bishop with the kick through. Steve Quinn takes it safely. Goes across field. Brought down though by Mark Foster. Spur trying to play the ball onto Barker. And there goes the hooter. For the end of the first half, Warrington 14, Featherstone 0.